Hello, welcome to Busy Little Motorhome Company. Today I'm going to show you around Discovery, which is a roller team auto roller 747. So first of all, we're going to start at the very front with the keys. It comes with two keys, which have identifiers on it as Discovery. And we've got our traditional style driving key, which has got a flip mechanism to go in the ignition. And then you have got your unlock just below and your Fiat button being your lock. On this one, you've also got your alarm system. We only use the tiny button at the top with the little nodes on it, and you point it at the vehicle and you will see that the indicators flash. And on the front here, you will see that this is going to flash for 20 seconds while it is setting. There are various different controls inside the vehicle, which I will show in a moment, which can allow you to activate the interior sensors so you can have it on when you're out, or to disarm them so you can sleep in it and still move around. The bike rack is also part of it, and also to dim these for when you are camping on a site. When you come back to the vehicle, or when you finish sleeping, you press the same small button with the nodes on it to turn it off. The indicators will go again, and the blue LEDs will stop flashing. On the other fob, you have the tracker. This needs to be within the driver's column when you are driving. It has to be within a meter while the engine is on. Otherwise, we get alerts and we will just call you and check that everything is okay. This key is to unlock everything behind the two front driving doors. That is a different key to lock the habitation door, the lockers down low, and the garage at the rear. Inside the cab, it is just like driving a car. You're just that much higher up, which is a lovely position to see all around you. So we're going to start off. I've got my one with the tracker here. I'm just going to pop on the side here. It won't roll out of there, and you know that it's there for when you're driving. Just remember, whenever you leave the vehicle, that needs to be with you at all times. Do not join them together because that will void the insurance and you are liable for the value of the vehicle then. So we always say put them in separate pockets, or even better, one of you carry this one of you carry that one, so they are always separate. So when you get ready to drive, pick that out, pop it in there, foot on the clutch and turn, and everything will come to life. So everything is like driving a car. On the steering wheel, you have various controls which you can just figure out before you leave, but you've got your cruise control and you've got some voice buttons and to answer the phone because it does have a paired system in here. Everything else is exactly the same. You've got your indicators on the left-hand side. You toggle it to turn your lights on, pull it towards you to flash. And then on this side, you've got your windscreen wipers, pull it towards you to clean the screen and turn it forward to have different speeds of your washing. Everything else is the same. It's a 6-speed. To get into reverse, you just hold your fingers like that and then you pull it up and then go far left and up into the corner. The system, we can help you to pair, but it's very easy. You just go on there, click on Bluetooth and pair, and it will find your phone. We always recommend if you pull up the front here and then pull this down, your phone can sit in there really lovely if I just get my phone out. So what I like to do, I pop my phone in there and I've got it paired, and I use this for my maps because the sat-nav system in here is a little bit rubbish, so I don't rely on it at all. And then I use this for my camera so I can always see behind. So when you go in reverse, the camera will dip down, but when you're driving, if you've got the camera on, it will look back because you cannot see much out of the mirror here. So that's everything in the front. Heating controls are just like in a car. The only thing I'm going to draw your attention to, which I said earlier on, is the alarm system. So just down here, you've got 3 buttons. So the red one is your interior light, so you can see this is on. So what that means, when you go out for the day, that wants to be on. If anybody breaks any window, that means the alarm system is going to go off. You put it in the up position so the light is off. That means that the internal sensors are off, and that is for when you're in the vehicle sleeping. So you can still arm the vehicle if you were like wild camping, or if you just feel for extra safety if you're on a campsite that doesn't have a lockable gate, because some do have public parkways walking through them. I always like to put it on. Then the next button matches the lights on the outside, which is the blue. So at the moment it's down, meaning that they are on fiercely, and they are LEDs, so they do project quite a lot. So when you're on a campsite, again, you want to push that up so it's off. And it doesn't mean the lights are off, it just means that they are flashing, but they are not excelling the light, because nothing worse than if you've got someone camping in a tent next to you, it's going to make them feel like they're in a disco. So that's that one. And then the end one, which doesn't have a light on it, that is to protect your bikes. If you have bikes on the back, it can be part of the system. So to activate that, we will give you a wire, which I'll show on the showroom very, very shortly, and you plug that in the back and you turn this on so it forms the loop. So if anybody disconnects that, pulls it out underneath or cuts it, the alarm system will go off. So all of those are your controls for the alarm system. Very easy to do after the first night, not a problem. What I will do now is to show you outside the wing mirror. So when you are driving, we always say your wing mirror is your gauge. If you're going to hit your wing mirror, stop, because once you hit these bulk sides, that is all of the money. So that is our guidance. If you feel you're going to hit those, stop, let other people get out of your way, don't move for them, you're in a much bigger vehicle than most, and just sit there and say, you need to come around me. Because that's when people get a little bit frustrated and then they end up trying to maneuver out of people's way and causing damage. But as an indicator, if you feel you're going to hit them, just stop and let people maneuver around you. The vehicle is 2.3 meters wide, 3.2 meters tall. That accounts for the aerials and the solar system panels on top. And then this one is 7.5 meters long. It does have a 2-meter swing, which I will show you on the back shortly. Now I'm going to show you down the driver's side of the vehicle. This was the part here that I said sticks out. If you hire a camper van, it's the same width as a van. With motorhomes, they always have this access. So if you think you're going to hit the mirrors, stop, and that's your indicator to know that you're not going to fit. So down the side here, we've got our extraction from the heating. Never cover that up. Those bad emissions need to come out, otherwise they can go into the cab. So just make sure that is not covered up by anything. Then we're going to use the key, which opens everything back of the doors. So on this side, pop the key in, you can see this pops out, and then I'm going to lock it straight away. That just makes it easier rather than having to hold it and figure out which way is locked. So again, pop it open, turn the key back, then you need to toggle them, and then you've got your storage in here. So those toggles are the same on all of the rear compartments. This one is just a nice little storage, maybe for wellies or something like that. And then this is your pull for the grey water. It is open at the moment, so if you push it in when you're on the campsite, then that will stop your grey water coming out, which is just from sinks and from the shower. And then to let that out, you go to a designated place on your campsite or a stop, and then that will pour out of the middle of the vehicle. So you will need to drive over that unless you're on a service pitch. When you're done, because we've now locked it, we can turn the toggles back, and then you just pop them in, and then that's done. So that's the lock is. This here is where you will put in your fresh water. So again, it's the same key, and this is blue as an indicator it is for fresh water. Okay, so don't get confused with diesel. That goes round in the driver's cab. Okay, so blue represents water. We do have a fresh water hose pipe. Please only use our hose pipes because they are for fresh water. If you pick one up on a campsite, chances are somebody could have used that to clean their toilet cassette. So that's not very hygienic. So always use our blue hoses. Once you are done, it's just like a petrol cap. You pop it back in, let it click, and then lock it, and then you are done. And of course, pop that down. Then we have got our toilet compartment, same key again. You need to turn it to open and press both in at the same time and pull it to open. You have your Thetford cassette here. There is a separate video for the toilet cassette, but I will do a quick demonstration here. So you pull it out, you take it to wherever you need to empty it. You pull that up, take that off so you are able to pour out, and then you're going to turn it upright and press this airlock button. Make sure your face is away because you can get splashback and that would be really unfortunate. Once you are done, just then put their hose pipe in, not our fresh one, put some in, give it a shake about, empty it again, get all of the last little bits out of the tank there. And then when you are done, you can use the blue solution, fill it up to the top, which is 120 mils on there, pour it in there, get a little bit of water from the hose pipe to make it react with something, pop that on, close it, and then that goes in and will click into place. Should you come here and it won't come out, do not force it. It means the toilet is open. The toilet needs to be closed on the inside, and then it will click out and click back in. Once you're done with that, close it, lock it, and we always say to lock everything. Those toilet compartments are about £170 each. Somebody happens to have a broken one, they might come and try and take yours, and then unfortunately we would have to charge you for your return one broken. So please always lock everything. Things to do in motorhomes are expensive, and unfortunately there are some people out there that will try and take yours in working order. So on the rest of the vehicle, we've got another garage here which I will show you on the other side, and then we've just got windows. You can see from the back wheel to the rear of the motorhome, we do have a 2.5 meter overhang. So that is what we're saying. When you are turning, just be very mindful. If you're going to be turning right, look at your left mirror to make sure you're not going to clip. And the opposite, when turning left, watch your rear right, because this, when you turn, will come out. So if you were sort of at a traffic light and you're on a left filter, just don't turn hard on, because this side will swing out and potentially sideswipe the car next to you. So always go out and turn very slowly so this just doesn't come out and swing and hit a car. Okay, so at the back of the vehicle, there's not that much to tell you. It's got the cameras up there. So if the cameras seem a little bit cloudy, sometimes when you're driving, it's raining, it can kick up the dirt up there. You just need to get your hand up there and just wipe the two cameras clear, which you can either do with your hand or a little bit of loo roll, kitchen roll, whatever, just to get it off. So then they're nice and clear again. And then we've got the bike rack. We will ask you if you need the bike rack. We have started taking them off because people are finding that they stick out that little bit more and they are catching them things, or when they're reversing, because it's difficult to see straight down then, and then they're really far away. So when this isn't on, you can see the bumper of the vehicle. So we will take it off if you don't need it. But to use it, pull out the clips on the side like that, and then you can undo these bits here, tilt this forward like when you have one on your car, and then use these to angle them and turn them to pop them on your bike. And you've got these lower anchors to go around your tires. This is the bit we mentioned that is to do with the alarm. So this goes underneath this corner down here. It plugs in, and you can see there is a certain way around that it goes. It's got a notch out of it there. And then the rest of it, you just wrap it all around your bikes, and then you connect these together, and then that makes the circuit. So if anybody cuts this, pulls this out, or pulls this apart, then the alarm will go off. But as I said, if you don't need the bike rack, we will take it off, and that just gives you that extra visibility going down when you need to reverse. Okay, so we're in the garage at the back on this side. It's exactly the same on the other side, but I'm just going to show you here what's in the back. So you've got your blue solution, which I said you need for the toilet. You've got your hookup cable, which goes in this side, which I will get to in a moment. And then you've got your hose, which I said is blue to represent fresh water. It comes with the hose bit, which you can just leave in the side. And then on here, you have got your quick adapter in case there isn't one at the site. And depending on if you're on an older site, you do have the smaller one in there, and then you can take that out for the larger setting. So we include all of them in there. Please make sure you put them back in for the customers after you. And then it's all in the bag, ready to go in the back here. And then you also have a table, which we provide. And then we have the option of having chairs. Some people like to bring their own chairs, but please do ask us in the email if you would like them included. They're no extra charge, but we always just make sure they do break easy. When they come back, they are in good working order, for obvious reasons, not to spoil people's stay after you. So now we're going to move down the rest of the motorhome. So we don't have anything else on this side, but we're going to move down to here where we have our electrical hookup. That just goes in there. The part that goes in the motorhome is the side with the flap. So then it comes in and the flap has to go inside. You can see my hand pretty much fits all in there. It does not come on the top here. It goes in there. And then there's a little release button when you want to pull it out. These are the extraction for the fridge. The fridge works off gas and electric. So please make sure that, again, these are not covered up, because this is where the emissions need to come out. And likewise, we ask you not to clean the vehicle on the outside. So if water jets were to be sprayed in there, it would damage the fridge. And at the moment, they are around £4,000. So please don't wash the outside of the vehicle. And then here we have got the habitation door, which works off that same key, which we said earlier on. And then we have got the gas, which is just in here. And I'm going to unlock it again. And then we can see on the door, it does tell you that off is clockwise. So obviously turning on is then anti-clockwise. You have two. If you're on a short hire, we will always have one full one spare, and then whatever's left. If you're on a long hire, we will make sure these two are brand new and they're good to go. So in the UK, it's not a problem. These are included in your price. If you do need more, that is up for you to then go and change them out when you're out on hire. but as an indicator, in the summer, when we've gone away for a month, we've only got down to about a quarter because we're only cooking. It's just if you're going away in colder weather and you're not on hookup and you're using the heating off the gas system, that is when it will drink it, and these will roughly last you for 2 nights. So just be very mindful of that if you're going wild camping. So once you are done, when you are traveling, this needs to be turned off. So you literally just look at that and turn it clockwise, and then it is off. You do not need to touch anything else in here. These yellow buttons or valves, do not touch them. It is only these. If you need to change this over, there is a spanner in here, and you just undo that, take that off like you would do with the gas barbecue, pop it on the other one, make sure it's tight, and then that's them changed over. So that's the gas house situation. And then all I'm going to show you here is the diesel. Diesel is here. You need the engine key to take that off, and then AdBlue is underneath. So the vehicles come full with diesel. Please return them full for the people after you. And the AdBlue we will always keep topped up. That is your responsibility. If you're on a long drive, you will need to refill that if it comes on. If you don't do it, it will damage the engine and it will not start. So please make sure if that does come on, you refill it. You can either buy the canisters, which are like kind of that big, they're quite heavy, or at some petrol stations, it is on the pump, which is a lot cheaper. If you're not sure, please do give us a call. I'm going to now show you the inside of the vehicle. Discovery is the only one we have with a lovely rear lounge, and there is a table just located in that cupboard there, and that is a freestanding table which can come here, which is photographed on the website with me playing Scrabble. This also turns up into a giant bed, which is an emperor-sized bed, which you pull out from here, and these have slats in there, and you pull it all the way. The pads for it are underneath here, which I will also show you. So of course that needs to be fully out. And then under here, you can either open from here, which is quite difficult to get the pads out, or you can open from the top. So there are pads in here and in this side, which then make up this bed. So the bedding for here is in this cupboard. So you've got pillows and microfiber towels ×2. Then the bedding, so you've got the comforter, just to make it nicer, because sometimes you can feel the leather through just the base sheets. So we include that for you. And that is a king duvet, and your pillows are there. And then on this side are the bedding for the front beds, which I'll just show you ahead of showing you the beds. So in here, you've got another double duvet for the drop-down bed. And then in here, you've got 2 pillows and 2 microfiber towels for that drop-down bed. And then the front does turn into a single bed, which has got a single duvet, and we do have another pillow for that. We do take out the bed, and depending on how many you are, because we do try to be an eco business, so reducing our electricity and water usage. So then we put in just what you need for how many you are. There is a TV here. We do advertise that the aerials are not brilliant on these vehicles, so please bear that in mind. We always advise people to bring their own devices with preloaded movies on. If you're going for Scotland, you are going to be very struggling for some signal. And we do say that that is nothing to do with a hire at all. If you don't get signal, you don't get signal. So please do not rely on that. If you're a person, we would like to think you're going away, having a lovely time with whoever you're in, and you're not going to rely on the TV. So please do bear that in mind. It does have a DVD player in it. So you can also bring DVDs, but just as an indicator, do not rely on that for signal. Bring your own devices, bring DVDs. We do put these as an extra. Many companies do not put them in for that reason. So moving a little bit further forward, here in this cupboard is another pad for the front makeup, and then the table is tucked away in the side there. And then in the drawers, in this one, we have all of your cutlery and utensils for cooking. There is an inventory list which the guys will have already highlighted that everything is in the vehicle, and then when you come back we strike it out. So just make sure you're happy with the inventory. Everything will always be in here, and of course we check it when you come back, and anything missing we will only charge you what it costs to replace, because that's how we like to do business. And then in here you have your pan sets with your frying pans. And then moving a little bit further forward, you've got some cleaning products which we include to get you going. You've got your oven with your tea towel down here, and then you've got your hob and your sink on the top. The fire blanket goes on the side there, but I'm going to show you the system in a moment. And you've got your hob, 3 on the top. These work off gas for when you're cooking, so you can be off grid. This vehicle is the only one in the fleet that has a microwave. You do have to be on hookup for that to work. And then there is a fire extinguisher here. We hope that you don't need it, but it is there, just like with a fire blanket. And then in this cupboard, you have your cups, wine glasses, and mugs, and your cafetiere. And then down here, you have your fridge and your small freezer at the top. There is a video for this fridge, which I am just going to demonstrate really quickly. You hold down the button to turn it on, and you can see it's got automatic plug, battery, or gas. It's gone into gas because I've just had the gas on. We always leave it on automatic because it will then choose when you're driving to go on engine battery, or if you're on hookup, it'll go into hookup, or if it's on gas, if you're wild camping. To turn it off or to reset it, just hold that down and it will go off. So sometimes you might get some flashing because you've turned the engine off and then not given it a source quick enough. So just literally hold down that button. These will always be off to save power, and in here there will be a little blue light which you can see there to indicate that it is working. If that is flashing any other color, as I said, just hold that down, turn it completely off, turn it back on to reset it. But that will change to whatever the vehicle needs. So at the front, you've got the seating area. This does make into a bed. So you lift this up and you can press the button and turn that up. And then this sits on the lower bar. I'm not going to make it up now, but the pads are in the rear and you can see that that sits on the lower bar. That goes on the floor and that makes this bed probably only good enough for a small child. Myself, when I tried to lay in it as an adult, I would have had to be laying quite rolled up. So that is a child's makeup bed. You've got some more storage at the top. These ones have the plates inside and the bowls. And then down here, we've got some more. You've got nothing in this one. And then under here, you have got your whistling kettle, some coasters in there. And then down here, you have got your Pyrex dishes, measuring jug, grill pan, and your counter saver. So you don't burn our counters and melt them down with hot things. And that's everything in this vehicle. So I'm going to move on to our control panel, which is nice. It's been moved from 2 systems to 1. So when you come over to it, you will see it's going to be blacked out. Press the home button and it comes on. So you're going to click unlock and that will get you into all of the settings. You don't need all of them because some of them are just timers, which obviously it's never really great to use those. So resources, we can see the starter battery is on amber because this vehicle has not been out recently. That will go to green when you're driving. The vehicle will charge the leisure battery as well as the engine battery when it's driving. You can see the leisure battery is on green because it does have solar, so it's sunny day, it's been charging in the sun. And you can see it's got 100% clean water, which is represented with the blue. And then this one is your grey water from your sink and your shower, and that will be red as it fills. And you can see at the minute it's on 0. So to go out of that menu, press back, and I'm going to go into switches. You can see the water pump is currently on. So that means if I turn on the taps or the shower, water will come out. If that isn't on, it will not work. So make sure that's on. And as I turn it on, you will hear a chugging noise, just like on a boat. And you can hear, and that means that is pumping out. If you do not hear that noise, it means the pump is not on. It will give you what is left under the pressure, but then it will stop. Your outside light is there, and then your interior lights are there. And there are various buttons hidden down here. And in the top here, there are little LED lights, which are digital light switches. And they're underneath every cupboard, Highline cupboard. And that's all that's in that menu. So we're going to go back. Then you've got your room climate, and you can see you've got heating or ventilating. Ventilating you can use in the summer. I used it last summer, it was quite good. And it just brings some air from outside and circulates it to keep it nice and cool. But the heating, you click it on, and then you can set it's on electricity, which I'm going to turn electric off. And then the gas comes on. So I'm going to go back, and then you can set the temperature. And when it is pulsing like that, it means it's working. When it's on constant red, the thermostat is in action, and it means that it is at that temperature, just like a home will knock on and off. You can go comfort or you can go fast. And then when you are done, you press the off button there, and that is now off. Likewise, the hot water, exactly the same system. Click it, turn water on, and then you can either select gas or electric again, depending on where you are, or have both on if you're on a site that doesn't have brilliant power. and then again, turn it all the way up, and it will start to pulse. Long shower, you can see that's 70 degrees. Please supervise children because it will come out 70 degrees. The whole idea of long shower, it's hotter, and you will need to put the mixer tap in there to cool that down, okay? So once it's pulsing, it's warming. Once it is constant red, it is then at 70 degrees. To turn it off again, turn that off there, and then it will go and exit from there. That is everything that you will need on that system. However, if you have a notification, the new system will now tell you what is wrong. The old ones didn't, and it just flashed and it wouldn't tell you. But this is brilliant. If you click on it, you can see there are no issues. But when there is, you can click on it and it will say gas cylinder is empty or low, or it doesn't have electric hookup. It will tell you what is wrong. But if you get any problems, please do pick up the phone and we will be more than happy to help you. Then when you are done, whether it is you're going out for the day or you start driving, you need to click turn off and then turn off again. So then that means when you leave, that there is nothing on and you won't come back and your heating's been left on and it's drunk all of your gas. But obviously if you're on a campsite and it is colder in the winter, you can turn your heating down so it is warming all day. But you just need to remember the biggest thing is when you get to a campsite, do not turn this on until you've either hooked up your electric or turned on your gas or both, and then you come in and press the home button and turn it on. And then the same in reverse when you are leaving. Make sure that you have turned this off first, and then you turn off your gas, and then you unplug your electric hookup. Otherwise, what happens is you undo your hookup and your gas, and it's looking for something, and it's going to plug itself with error codes. So just make sure when you get there, hook up first, gas on, and then come in and do this. And then the reverse when you're leaving. Turn this off first, and then undo your hookup and turn your gas off. So that's the system. That's the main thing we get questions on, but it's really easy. Once you've done the night, very straightforward. Okay, so this is the washroom. So I'm stood in what is the shower, and of course you have the sink here and some mirrors. So when you need to take a shower, this wood comes out and you just pop it in the habitation area where you can sit and stuff, and then there is a shower tray under there. When you are showering, it is important that we close the glass screen, which follows the track of an L shape of the base, and that protects the floor. Motorhome floors are actually really delicate, so we just ask, please always shut the shower door, even when children are showering, and please supervise them because it is a very huge cost to repair the floor. When you are showering, this tap comes out as the shower and it hangs on the wall. There is a button on top, and that you press that so it goes from a tap into a spray, and it hangs up on the wall just up here, and then it goes back in. And again, it's a mixer, so please make sure that you're supervising small children because of the heat temperature. And again, with it on 70 degrees, that puts out about 9 minutes of hot water when it's mixed, okay? The tanks are only so big, so just make sure it's not indefinite water, and it is most certainly, let's get soaked, turn it off, lather up, soap up, and then turn it back on and rinse off. We managed to get a whole family washed of 4 of us on 1 tank, but we are pros. Let's see if you can beat us. If you've got 5, let me know. So then moving on to the toilet section, the toilet does turn, and if you've got longer legs, you might need to turn it that way. And then inside, we can see it is closed, okay? So when you go to the loo, you slide that and the bottom opens. When you go to the toilet, make sure that is open and things can drop in there. We had an unfortunate situation when Ivor was smaller and he went and it was closed. And then when you slide it open, it goes all underneath. And I can tell you, I was not happy to clean that up. So just make sure, golden rule, when you go into the loo, it's open. Then when it's not been used, close it because it stops smells coming up. And also when you're driving, it stops it splashing up and moving around, okay? So that is the washroom. Okay, so at the front of the vehicle, I mentioned there is a drop-down bed. Just up here, there's an up and down. Just hold it down. Make sure there's nothing on the table or on the counter over here, because it will not stop, okay? It is weight falling and it does have a track system. So the ladder is at the back, which we keep on the chair, and we just tuck it under to make sure it doesn't go moving about when you're driving. And then you just clip it on here and then you can come up. There are nets underneath if you have small children. We've never used them. I've never rolled out of a bed myself, but I never use them, but it's entirely up to you. So this will hold 2 adults as well. We often sleep up here when we come because I don't like to make up the bed. So either we'll sleep under here and we will sleep up here, just so then it means I don't have to make up that big bed. because that's just how we like to do it, but everybody's different. Then these are your window covers, which you can find on the top up there above the driver's cab. Also, we asked these cover the front windows because all the others have blinds. The thermal shiny side goes facing outside, and these suction pads then go in the window. When you pop them on, please make sure that when you pull them off as well, you use those bits rather than pulling it, because these eyelets can tear out, and these again are quite expensive, which we would need to charge you for. So just please always make sure you're pulling them like that, or even if you put your hand down just to loosen it, and make sure that they don't tear. So that is everything in Discovery, and we do ask that you watch the videos ahead if you come in, but we will take questions on the day. So if you're not sure about something that we've said in the video, please ask the team and they will show you in person how that works. Likewise, this video is obviously on YouTube and you can download it to your phone, so you can use it even if you're remote and don't have signal, or you can use it online. We are always on the phone if you need us. So during opening hours, call the landline. It will go to whoever is available. It does divert to all of us. And out of hours, on the weekends, we close at 4. And in winter, in the evening, we close at 6. When those lines are closed, it will say that we are now closed. Use that landline number to WhatsApp us, which is on our emails as well. And if you need assistance, just please message us. It goes to the whole team and say, I'm out in Discovery. I have a question of operation, and we will reply to you as soon as we can. So we are always available if you need us. Please don't just think, oh, that's okay. Get on the phone, because the chances are we can talk you through something really quickly, really easily. Or if it's just something you're not sure of, we say, well, actually, the vehicle doesn't do that, or it does do that. So just get on the phone to us or text us. So any questions, please ask the team. They're more than happy to help you, and have a great adventure.